Welcome back to the channel. We are your Colorado real estate family, Chelsea and Pete Sweeney, and we as a family love to travel. And so a lot of you have been asking, where should we live if we want to be close to the Denver International Airport? So today we're going to be covering what those areas are.
All right, let's go. Now, I know that the title says cities that are near DIA, but I mean, okay, so let's just say we could throw Denver out there, but you could be on, the closest portion of Denver to the airport and you're like 15 minutes away, or you could be in the furthest portion and you're more than an hour. So what we're really going to specify with these cities is these different areas of these cities, and I'm actually going to put two cities together in this first portion. I'm going to do Denver and North Aurora because you got Green Valley Ranch and this northern Aurora area right here, where this is pretty much what's known as your top spot for people who are coming, flying in and out of the airport, because you have hotels that are lined up on Tower Road right there. You have restaurants right over there. So this is like a huge area that's dedicated to the airport. And if you go more down into Green Valley Ranch, where it's, technically considered Denver, that's more your suburbia area. They have this great golf course. It's like right in the center of the community. So super awesome spot.
Now, how far is Green Valley Ranch to the airport? It's about a 15-minute drive. If you're looking at that North Aurora area that he was talking about, that's going to be about 10 minutes. So it's going to be a little closer because it's actually closer to that Pena Boulevard.
Yeah, so Pena Boulevard, it pretty much surrounds this entire area, and Pena is your main dedicated highway that goes into DIA, and that's why it's so huge. That's why it's your central spot for all the lodging and stuff for DIA.
Yeah, now this is also known, this kind of North Aurora area is also known for the Gaylord. We've talked about the Gaylord in a couple other videos. We actually have a video that we are standing in front of the Gaylord, so if you want to go check that out. But even people here staycation at the Gaylord. And so people coming into Denver, if people have their families coming in and they all live in that area, it's really fun for families to stay at the Gaylord so that they have this little vacation as well as visiting family.
Well, I heard it's a great spot to go during Christmas time. They got it all decorated in there and such. Didn't we go there during Easter one year and they had an Easter egg hunt?
They have so many events.
It's like the Gaylord. If you are ever in Colorado and you just want to stay somewhere that's amazing, say you're here for a week, stay there at least one night. Just one night and check it out. It's awesome. I know it's not the cheapest place to stay, but they have an indoor water park. Okay, we're talking about neighborhoods, not so much hotels anymore, but I'm just kind of telling you, the fact they put the Gaylord in that area kind of shows how that area is up and coming. Real quick, I'm going to break into, so usually what I give you guys is the median sales price of these areas. Instead, I'm going to give you a range. So I literally just popped up the listings today to kind of see what we're looking at. And if you want to get into this area, you're looking at probably low fours going all the way up into $1 million, depending on which area you're in. Yeah, it's those those $1 million products. They have some great spot in those northern Aurora areas, which is kind of just west of the Gaylord. That's where you're going to find a little bit more expensive housing right over there.
And that's also because most of those communities are brand new.
It's just west of the Gaylord over there. And this is your products that we're talking about, your super modern 3-story with, these ones actually have basements as well too. We'll pop some pictures up, but I think those ones are going for if not at $1 million, just right below $1 million.
Now, when you're looking at kind of that lower price point, those 400, that's going to be Green Valley Ranch. That's going to be very suburban. It's going to be some older homes, some newer homes, but it definitely has a little bit of varying product there.
Well, and then also on Tower Road too, with those 400 price points, is actually, we had a listing in a buy over there, whatever, but it's right off Tower Road. You have some attached products over there, so we're talking about kind of your townhouse style condos over there, and that's where you're going to also find those 4 products.
The second area that we have to cover when talking about DIA is going to be this Commerce City area. And this is about 15 minutes to DIA. And it doesn't seem like it would be because it is a little further north than some of these other areas we're talking about. But because of the access from Tower Road, it makes it very convenient to get to DIA.
Now, there's another one of those guys that we're talking about when we're talking about Commerce City. Everyone's like, oh, but Commerce City is all the way over off of I-25 or no. So we're talking about kind of the Reunion, Frontera area over here right now. it blew up like crazy. I remember back when it's probably like in the late 2000s, people were talking about how they're buying all these houses here because they're all brand new houses. So from the 2000s on, they've been building over there. They're still building over there. And so like even in the little north, you got Buffalo Run. There is something I need to mention though, guys, that I always make sure that I do mention is they do have the Tower Road landfill right on the other side of Tower Road, kind of the southern portion near the Frontera area over there. So something to really kind of be mindful of if you do not want to live next to that landfill. Just kind of give you a heads up because it's like, it's out of nowhere. You're like in the Great Plains, you're like, what's this mountain doing right in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah,
that is a
like
landfill. So I want to make sure I point that out.
Now, if this is the first time that you're watching, this Colorado area and you're learning about this, if you're looking on a map, you're going to see Commerce City in a very different area. And that's because most of the maps will show Commerce City in old Commerce City. These are not the areas we're talking about. Commerce City is so big and they're dramatically different. So this is one thing that we want to point out. We do have a couple of videos with some drones, so please go check out one of those other videos. But we are specifically talking about North Commerce City.
All right, so what are you looking at if you are wanting to purchase a house in those areas? Like I said, I pulled up a search today. You're looking at anywhere between the high 3s all the way into the low 9s. And when we're talking about those high 3s, typically you're going to be looking in that Frontier area because that's where you're seeing a lot more of your attached products. And so that's on like the south side of Reunion. North side is more like Buffalo Run, Reunion. That's more of your detached where you got your single family homes. Before we hit number 3, guys, real quick, I'm going to throw you a bonus city at the end of this that not too many people are talking about. Only us kind of locals know what's going on over there. I don't even say locals because I mentioned a few locals are like, wait, really?
Wait, what?
So I'm going to mention the city that's going to be the last one we cover. Before doing that, guys, if this is information that you do love, can you do us a huge favor? Hit that subscribe button. Maybe give us a thumbs up. Little notification bell that way you're notified every single time that we put out a brand new video. Also, if you are planning on moving into the Colorado area, give us a call or text at the phone number right below, right there. We are your top relocation experts when relocating into this area.
The third area that we have to talk about is Brighton. Now, this is one that a lot of people wouldn't have thought was going to be something close to DIA, but we're going to talk about why Brighton has now made the list. Now, this is going to be about a 26-minute drive to DIA. So most people, when you guys are asking us, hey, I want to be close to DIA, you're kind of giving us that 30-minute, I want to be at least within under 30 minutes to DIA. So this is a great community to talk about.
And so on top of that as well, guys, we are not talking about the heart of Brighton. We're talking about the Brighton. We're talking about the east side of Brighton, which is technically considered like the Brighton crossing area. This is where you have all new homes, they're probably nothing older than 15 years old.
All new area.
Yeah, it's a new area. We've actually had a lot of clients who have chosen this area because it's kind of out away from the congestion of downtown Denver, but at the same time, they can hop down to the airport in like no time at all.
Also, it has really quick access from 76 to get to the city as well. So you do have accessibility to both the airport and Denver, which is why Brighton is becoming more popular. Now, same thing as Commerce City. Brighton used to just be Old Brighton, and that is going to be kind of off Highway 85, which is on the west side of Brighton. This is your older homes, your downtown Brighton, all of that. Very, very different than the area that we're talking about with the accessibility to the airport.
All right, so another thing I really want to throw in with Brighton right here is because a lot of people, if you go pretty much just like northeast a little bit, you got Lochbuie, and it's a small little town that's kind of attached to Brighton a little bit. And so a lot of people will choose that area too because your price points are going to be a little bit lower in Lochbuie as opposed to Brighton. What is that price point looking like? So in Lochbuie right now currently, you can find something between the 3s all the way up I didn't see anything more expensive than the high 6s, right? Whereas Brighton, it's a little bit different of a price point. You're looking at like high 4s going all the way up into the 8s. And of course, it all depends. You can find some products in Brighton where you have acreage, and with the acreage, you're going to be paying, more of those $1 million price points. But you can still find a decent home, whether it be Brighton or Lochbuie, and have that great access down into DIA. The final city that we're going to be talking about that I feel like not too many people really do know that it's growing up like crazy, and it is still within that 30-minute drive to DIA is Bennett, Colorado. I've heard from so many developers who are planning on building out there, who are building out there. If I do a search, there's a bunch of brand new homes that are kind of selling in the area, and everyone's like, when we were growing up like Bennett, we had to drive all the way out to Bennett. But when they moved the airport out to where it was, that's kind of what was able to bring Bennett in a little bit, and it didn't seem like it was too far because it's like, well, I mean, it's still 30 minutes from the airport, and so these developers are really building out there. I think Bennett, like eventually, probably in the next like 5 to 10 years, will have that Castle Rock effect where it is going to blow up. The good thing about Bennett is that you can get acreage over there, right?
So yeah, this is the land place.
Yeah.
Like if you are looking for land, people will very quickly choose Bennett. It used to be Brighton, and now with Brighton kind of, you know, turning into like this new suburbia area on the east side, Bennett is the one place that you can actually get a lot of land.
And I will tell you guys, if you plan on going somewhere with all your box stores, with all the amazing stuff, the new stuff that's coming out, Bennett's not going to be for you. This is more your small town living. What are you looking at if we're talking about your housing? So I actually ran a search today, and you're looking at anything like between the mid 4s all the way up into the multi-millions. And the reason that they do get up into those multi-millions is you're buying nice houses on like 35, 40 acre lots, right? And so you have all that land. With that comes a little bit heavier of a price point, but you can still buy kind of your suburbia style product, and they're blowing up like crazy in Bennett, Colorado.
All right, we talked about 5 different areas that you can live when trying to stay close to DIA, whether you're traveling, whether we have a lot of our flight attendants and pilots like looking to station up here in Colorado.
Yep.
They're going to these areas because of the conveniency. If you have any questions about these areas, please feel free to reach out. We do these videos for you.
And of course, guys, if you are looking at purchasing real estate here in the state of Colorado, give us a call or text the phone number right below. Right below, right there. We are answering. Doesn't matter day or time. Until next time, we love you. Bye.
Bye. Pete Sweeney,
Yep.
and a lot of you have been tonight, damn it,
Just say today.
and today we're gonna take you, well, what do I say,
Central hub for people who are going in and
even here staycation, and so it's even okay.
we're talking about the west.